another episode of Mac and Jazz on that, the podcast. J Mac over here. And how have you been, J Mac? It's been a minute.
I've been great. I think this is episode 11, so...
It's a new season, pretty much. We're going to call this season 2. We're kicking it off, and we have a very special guest here, too. I will let you introduce yourself, too.
Hey, how you guys doing out there? My name's Khairi Sharif, founder of Space City Shows Drive-In. Just here to, tell you guys about the experience that we've created in Edo, and hopefully we'll see you out there.
Yes, so Space City Shows. Okay, well, how did y'all meet, first of all?
Well, I got a friend. She goes by
you
the
have
name...
a friend?
That's a good one. She goes by the name of Paige Hubbard. And
I know Paige.
he was at a birthday party, her birthday party. I saw him, and you get these people that walk up to you all the time, and they're like, you know what? I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And, we had a conversation. He talked to me. And about 3 or 4 weeks later, I saw that it was really coming true. And you know how unbelievable that is?
So wait, when y'all talked, you had not opened the drive-in theater at all?
Nah, so, and I didn't even go in depth about, what I just said I got a drive-in coming. I try not to talk about things until, I breathe life into it. And then, you talk about it so frequently, you kind of start to believe in your mind that it's already there and you haven't got to that point. But, I just told him, and I was just curious, inquisitive about certain things that, that could potentially help me. And when I talked to him, I say, you thought I was probably just talking, huh?
So how long did you have the idea for before, things got off the ground?
So I came up with the idea May 3rd. And
this year?
Yeah, this year.
What? Hold up. It's only been a couple months and you already opened up.
Yep. So I originally wanted to open 4th of July weekend, show a movie, have, fireworks kind of downtown. Since they wasn't having it this year. It's a lot of moving parts out of my control, so we open when we open.
Okay, now you're 26 years old. How does a young man like yourself, when I was 26 years old, I was working for somebody. She is 27 now, and she is working for somebody. How did you change your life up, and why aren't you working for somebody like most 26-year-olds are?
I guess I can contribute that to parents or other male adult role models in my life. My dad always asks me every day. He still asks me to this day. 2 type of people in this world, son. And he asks, what are they? Employees and employers. Then the next question that follows is, which one are you? And then I answer, I'm an employer or a boss. He changed it up. But that, and I never had in my mind, working for anyone. I always wanted to do something for myself and be able to leave something for my family or have something for my family. I think family is very important. So for me to have something and, involve family and friends in it, that played a big part in it. And can't make a lot of money. Well, you can make a lot of money working for somebody, but your time ain't your time.
Right.
Exactly. So wait, rewind. What did you say before about? Okay, so did you have a job before this?
Nah, so originally, I can't even tell you the time I had a job. The longest job I had was probably working at Enterprise for about 4 months. Before that, Papa John's delivering pizzas. Worked at HEB for 2 days. I said, that's it for me. I couldn't do it overnight. But no, I never.
So you have other businesses and stuff?
Yeah, so I had a decorative concrete company. Once I graduated college, I was kind of lost trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life. And
what was your major?
BS. Multiple disciplinary studies with a minor in business administration, sports communication, athletic coaching.
Okay.
I originally wanted to coach. I thought I'd be doing something in the sports arena. Not late. Probably still could.
Yeah.
But I started a decorative concrete company in Dallas with my childhood best friend, Rashid. Shout out Rashid. Called Russian Reef Concrete Coatings, doing epoxy floors. We was working for a guy, and he wanted to sell the company. It was a franchise. And we didn't want the franchise, we wanted our own. So we said, we'll buy everything off of you. And we kind of did it from there. And then I moved back to Houston beginning of this year, January, and I started HTX epoxy floor. Same thing, different name, different location, and it dried up with Corona.
Oh
my God.
Yeah, so
is that how you got the idea? You're like, what we gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, I get ideas all the time, but I had to do something. Bills still need to be paid. So I was still doing the floors here and there when they would come, but people were, reluctant to do it just because they didn't want strangers in their home. They didn't want to spend, unnecessary money that, no telling when some people lost their jobs or how long this would last.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just brainstorming, and I constantly try to go back and think of, how did I come up with this idea, like step by step, and I can't. But I just started building. Once I came up with the idea, all I remember is, finding out the information I need and start building from there.
Wow.
So on this journey, building this, did you have any naysayers? And how do you deal with naysayers when you're trying to go for your dreams?
Nah, didn't have any naysayers because nobody really knew.
Really?
Kept it under wraps for the longest. My family knew. Of course, they helped me, kind of. If I couldn't find out something, I would, pick a couple different people's brains about it, or where can I get this, or do this, or what you think about this. But I didn't have too many naysayers. Even my closest friends, my real circle of friends, best friends, didn't know. Had no idea.
See, that's great because a lot of times people have friends, they have family members who don't really support them. And I'm glad that you had supportive friends, supportive family. I mean, it's a great story, man.
Yeah, and as far as it was killing me to keep it inside. And I asked, my friends if they want to go to the drive-in, and they was like, yeah. And after, everything came to life, I was like, you thought I was just asking you to go to the drive-in? I could have watched the movie at my house with my girl or something, But my family is very supportive, and that's with anything, If I wanted to make tablecloths, they'd be in that sewing it with me, making tablecloths. They out there right now, not getting paid, but I got additional employees and customer service reps, and they out there just supporting, giving it their all.
Wow, that is amazing. Okay, so how do you pick like the movies and like the features and like who's organizing all that stuff?
Me right now.
Wow.
So
every day you just like this is what we go. This is what's gonna be.
Yeah, so I pick them a week in advance. Well, I release them a week in advance. I really pick them about 2 weeks to a month out. But I try to, have a wide variety for, a variety of people, especially with the neighborhood we in. We're right in the center.
You're in East Downtown?
Mm-hmm, correct. So historically, that is a Hispanic neighborhood. So I try to, cater to that neighborhood. Then you have the Heights or the East River development, which is predominantly, Caucasian, and then you have Third Ward up the street, which is black. Shout out to the Trey.
Hey.
So I try to, come up with something that's family oriented, something, a date night, some type of comedy. That's the motto as far as, try to relieve you from your everyday life, whether it's comic relief, love in the air, or just an action-packed night.
So you do 2 movies a night?
2 movies a night. So we have an early movie at 8:30 p.m. So that'll usually be the family movie out of those 2 days. And then we have the late night one that starts at 11. As time goes on and it gets darker a little earlier, then we'll move them up.
And how many people can you accommodate, like as far as vehicles?
So as far as vehicles, so we're sitting on a 6-acre lot right in the middle of the city. Probably about an acre has a building on it, but we accommodate we max out at 200 cars.
Oh, my God.
And you can do 4 people or however many seats
do
your car has?
How many you can see.
So you charge by the car, not the person?
Correct.
Nice.
I'm not trying to look in your trunk and under the seat trying to see who's there. And,
And can you bring your own food and drinks and
You
stuff?
can bring your own food and drinks, but we have food trucks out there. We have a DJ out there. So,
What?
Yeah.
You haven't had us out there yet?
You're talking about people that actually mix.
Well, I mean, we're getting there. It's okay.
Yeah, what you want to MC it?
Why not? Yeah.
I need the energy.
I saw it on Instagram like a couple weeks ago, and I was interested in it. I just hadn't like picked a day yet, but I had seen it, and I was like, "That's dope." And then he told me he knew you, and I was like, "That's cool." Yeah.
Right. Another one of my friends, Dr. Rowe, she went by there.
Oh, she already saw a movie there?
Yeah.
What'd she go see?
It was the grand opening. Whatever they had at the grand opening.
We had Rush Hour 2, Love Jones. I can't even think back that far right now. And we had Queen and Slim, though. That was the biggest one thus far. I think that was it.
Are you doing mostly like throwback movies, like classics?
We had Pursuit of Happiness.
Oh, you did. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're doing a lot of, throwback classics. It's not really about the movie. It's more so the experience, Yeah, a lot of these movies you can't sit on your couch or, in your bed, lay in your bed and watch it. But it's about, having that view, having a modified way to eat, a modified way to go to a party, or have a bar or something with the DJ out there, and just kind of get out of the house. I know when I was brainstorming about the idea, I would walk around my neighborhood, or jog, and it clears my head and it allows me to think and kind of process my day and try to figure out, what's the task I need to complete today, or what can I come up to change the world, or, leave my mark on the world.
Wow.
There we go. And this is my last question. This might be dumb, but for those who have never been to a drive-in theater, you just have to put your radio on the dial.
Yeah, it's not dumb. I've never been to a drive-in theater this year. But yeah, we have
that's
the
how you
audio
listen.
it's transmitted through your FM radio. So you just turn it to whatever station we're on that day, and you'll hear it nice and clear and be easy in the comfort of your car.
And for the people who don't have the belief like you had to start their business during COVID. I mean, to start it during COVID, that's a big risk, dog.
Yeah, opportunity lies in things like these. I was told a quote before, adversity is the mother of creativity. So, when you got adversity, you got to, make things work out, make something shake. And essentially that's what I did. And, now I have a lot of people saying how they thought, how they had this idea, they just didn't execute, or they thought this or that. And I have a million people trying to give me different ideas, which is great. I've had ideas, but also it lies in the execution. People can have the same idea, but can you execute that idea and can you maintain it? And I'm just trying to maintain it right now.
And will you be expanding?
Yeah, so a lot of interviews I get asked that ideally I would want to go to Atlanta.
Really?
I think, I think this is something, with the tweet going viral that I put out, and it's saying the first black-owned in Houston. Mm-hmm. It is one in New Jersey. Shout out to Newark Moonlight. They was definitely a good resource to have and, kind of pick their brains as well. They were just able to get the ball rolling faster than me. But Atlanta is the
next phase.
The capital of, blackness in America almost.
Of course.
The culture.
I also, thought of concerts down the road, just a modified way. I've had some, couple different ideas. Of course, I'm sure some people will say they had this idea, but
they didn't
they do it though.
We'll
yeah,
see. We'll see. Yeah, that relates to me with playing football. Football players this and that, but at the end of the day, whoever executes the game plan wins.
Oh, we forgot about the price.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
The most important thing.
Yeah, and it's not that expensive. It's not expensive at all. It's $30 per vehicle. So, you do the math. If you're going to the traditional movie theaters, you have, I think, movie tickets like $12 to $14, $15 maybe, and that's not including concessions, which is going to hit you over the head. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, if you got 3 people in the car, that's $10, so it's a win-win.
And that's a $30 date. They don't. That's
$30 date. If he's not trying to spend $30 later,
50. Even if you want to do concessions with it, that's $50 date.
Yeah, dropping. That's cheaper than really going out to eat. And
exactly.
Also, you can stay in the comfort of your car. The best seats you bring, the best seats are the ones you bring. So you can sit there and be comfortable and stay safe. That's the most important thing.
And for those people, do you have an Instagram?
Yeah. So the Instagram is Space City Shows, and you can follow that on Instagram and Facebook. The Twitter is Space City Show, no S.
Okay.
And wait, I do have one more question for you, because I know a lot of people that want to start like a business and stuff. They worry about money and do you have did you get investors or
Yeah, so I had an investor. I don't know. As far as real estate, I'm into real estate, so it's a thing called other people's money. So you want to use other people's money, which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
But the investor I had, I'm leave him anonymous. But man, I'm so grateful for him and appreciate him. And we talked about it, and he was the first person I went to, and he said, yeah.
The first person you went to.
First person. And I don't believe in luck or coincidences, but. He said that he thought it was a great idea, and as he talked to a couple advisors about it, he mentioned something. He was like, I think it's a great idea, but I'm not completely sold on it. And he said, I'm sold on you, and he thinks that if it can be done, I can do it, and that spoke volumes about me and it made me want to achieve it even more, and just to prove him right and give him that. But I definitely appreciate him. I'm very happy to have him in my corner.
Wow. And, before we get out of here, what's some advice for all the other people coming behind you? How can they get to the next level? And maybe their story is not like your story. They don't have a family that believes in them, and they don't have friends that believe in them.
They might not know where to find an investor or something.
Yeah, I actually have friends like that, that they say, well, you got people you can, seek for advice. And, yeah, I do. But also a lot of them I found and sought out on my own, I went and, talked to them and got with them and, try to figure out things and how can I put myself in a different position. If I'm hanging with the people that's in the same position to me, I'm not going too far. We riding the same way. But I would tell them faith is number one to me. You got to have faith in, a higher power, but also yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will believe in you. So, if that investor didn't give me the money and or I didn't come up with the, business plan and, have all these different things and this belief in myself,
right? Then
they wouldn't have believed in me. And I think it's people are interested in the person, not actually the business. Mm-hmm. So if a business just put that tweet out, it would have did all right. But personally, exactly. So they feel attached to me. Just like that's why I think people have they're obsessed with celebrities because they feel like they know them personally. Right. So that's what made that succeed. And you got to work
talking about
hard.
the verbal. You talking about the tweet that you put out.
Mm-hmm. And I wasn't a fan of putting that tweet out. My girl told me to put the tweet. I'm like, yeah, all right. She don't know what she talking about. She worked at the post office.
Gotta listen to your lady.
Yeah. Hey, nah, you do. They help you.
So for all the people who don't know, explain to them what he's talking about right now.
What, the tweet?
Yeah, the viral.
Oh, well, I'll let him explain it.
So the tweet, well, before I explain, I had another friend that reached out and, said, man, you should tweet this out and, make it go viral. I'm like, yeah, okay, that don't really work. I tried it with the two flooring things, so I guess people just weren't interested. Mm-hmm. And the actual pictures that I used in that tweet, that was me test running the screen. We built the screen. Well, I didn't personally build it, but mm-hmm. It was my vision. I had somebody bring it to life for me. Mm-hmm. But I basically put out a tweet saying, hey, I just recently started the first and only black-owned drive-in Houston. The support, it costs nothing to, retweet, the normal spiel that people say. And it went viral, and it shocked me.
Twitter does that too all the time. I'm saying, Twitter is different than Instagram when it comes to that stuff like that.
Yeah, and followers start shooting up, and that first weekend was successful. We had a little setback last week because of rain, but neither here nor there. We're gonna keep pushing forward. But as far as getting back to what the people, they got to be hard workers as well. I get up early and I go to sleep late.
Stuff I try to tell her, but the most important thing about that. Talk about your woman. She was the one who gave you that advice. And a lot of times, us as men, we don't listen, But your woman gave you that advice. Yep. Let us in on what made her say that.
The lady behind the tweet.
I actually told her this past weekend. I said, baby, I appreciate you, And she was like, for what? People congratulating her, and she like, nah, that's all him. But she played a pivotal role just as far as my mother, my father, my sister, anybody that's been a part of this, whether making dinner, making sure I'm cool, just, a hug some days because stuff just not going your way. But she basically, seen it, and what's crazy? She doesn't have a Twitter.
Right?
She doesn't have Instagram.
What? So how did she even
She's seen it on Snap. So she has a Snap, and one of her friends did it for his girlfriends or something. And she was like, "Yeah, just try it." But I was just discouraged from trying it just because I've tried it. And
before.
Yeah, and my mom used to tell me this, Aaliyah. I know y'all know the song. First you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. You can, and that's been with me since the first time I quit, and I haven't quit since. But yeah, you got to be disciplined, hardworking, have faith, and y'all don't steal it. But you have to have it's 3 R's. My pops, he told me this morning actually. You got to be resourceful. I was resourceful. I went through. I know y'all heard Nip say I went through every emotion trying to make this happen, but I actually went through every emotion, but also different avenues and streets to try to make this work. how can I make this work? It's not. I didn't want to fall in love. I thought it was a great idea, but you're not gonna be in business long if it's just a great idea. It has to be profitable, and the people have to want it. So I was resourceful. You got to be relentless, and that means you got to keep going. Just no matter what, just keep trucking along. And I wish I could say how I got like this. I don't know. It's just embedded in me, and through sports, school, just life in general, and different things I went through, and then be resilient. So yeah, you will get knocked down, but you got to come back, and it might not be immediately, but if you don't come back and you stand up and you don't overcome that, you're gonna get knocked down again. So what you gonna do? You gonna sit there or you gonna overcome it? So it's up to you.
I love it. And that's that. That's the thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Thank you for coming on. Remember, Space City Shows on Instagram, right? And then on Twitter, Space City Show.
Correct.
Got it. And make sure you subscribe and like us, Mac and Jazz, on the podcast.
I appreciate y'all having me